Welcome to the Fruiting Body Podcast, episode 12. Today we are here with Kendell and Cooper. They're the first sandboxers in Phuket, all the way from the USA. So we're going to learn about that story, what they did to get here, why they decided to come to Thailand, and what are their next steps, where are they going to be traveling, and all that COVID fun, jabby stuff they've probably been going through. We are Fruiting Body Podcast. Our products are Fruiting Body mushrooms. We are doing things like lion's mane, reishi, turkey tail, cordyceps. I'm not going to plug this stuff too much. It's not coming out till December. But it's the best mushroom product on the market. Find out on your own, and we'll let you know more about that later. So, without further ado, let's hit that intro. Talise, kick it, bud. One quick thing, we found an amazing feature on YouTube. You should check this out. If you're watching this video and you click on any time place on the video itself, click on the description and chapters will appear. From these chapters, you can decide what part of the podcast you would like to watch. Hope you enjoy. Episode 12, Fruiting Body Podcast. Today we're with the first Phuket sandboxers all the way from the US, Kendell and Cooper. We're not going to focus too much on their life story. We're going to dive into the details of what their experience was coming to Thailand. What did they have to go through to get here? What did they have to do when they're here? And what are the next steps? They're kind of a unique couple as being a Phuket sandbox as well. I think their story is going to be amazing. We don't know too much about it, but the reality is most of the Phuket sandboxers, they are in transit to Bangkok or living on the island. These two lunatics, they came here for 3 weeks. Not to put you guys down, absolute legends. They came here for 3 weeks just for vacation. So let's find out why and why they're putting themselves through that. I don't want to say torture, but let's find out if it was. Okay, Kendell and Cooper, thanks for joining us. I'll let you guys decide who wants to kick it off. But first, why Thailand? What made you decide to come here? What was that first step of why you chose to come to Thailand?
I mean, you can start it out because you're the one that wanted to go.
Well, yeah. We wanted to go to Bali or somewhere cool around there, like Philippines or something like that. And their restrictions are crazy. It's way too much work. And we looked it up, saw Thailand was open to tourists July 1st. They're doing a sandbox program. We were might as well just do that.
It was much easier than these other restrictions in Bali and Philippines. Were they they're your first choice?
Well, we couldn't even go. So we 6 months ago were we want to go somewhere. We want to spend the month. This is when we don't have jobs that we need to fully commit to. And so we wanted to go out of the country. He's never been out of the country before. Yeah. And so we were let's go to Bali. It'll probably open up by summer. It wasn't opening up by summer, and so I looked up countries that are open to tourism, and it said that Thailand was opening July 1st, and it's a cheaper country, and so we don't have the biggest budgets, and so we chose Thailand.
Yeah, and maybe it was the easier sandbox option. And let's just digress and jump back a little bit to maybe give a little bit of backstory. So you guys are from the U.S. and we were talking before earlier. You're in your third year university. You're both going to the same school, and you're both in Nevada. What school are you guys going to?
UNR.
University of Nevada Reno.
Yeah. University of Nevada Reno. So that's, I'm assuming, up in the north.
Yeah, north.
North of Nevada.
40 minutes from Lake Tahoe.
Okay.
In the Reno city.
Yeah. And what are you studying, Kendell?
I'm doing economics and finance.
Economics and finance?
Yeah.
Okay. And so hopefully any employers later when you see this video, she'll be on her best behavior. No, it's fine.
Hopefully it's not bad.
No, it's fine. And yourself, Cooper?
Criminal justice.
Oh, you're a lawyer. Uh-oh.
No.
Okay, well, don't worry. We're selling legalized mushrooms, he's here to take down this ring of mushrooms and psilocybin. No, I'm joking. Okay, and you're in your third year, so you both only have 1 year left, and then, or would your education be a bit longer?
2 more years.
2 more years.
So we're entering our third year.
Entering your third year.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we're still young.
yeah. So you're not even at now. Typically, like people of your age, when they finish their education for the summer, and you would go backpacking throughout Southeast Asia. Most of your friends or people of that age would do that, but that's kind of been stripped away. And since you started university, so the past 2 years, what's been going on in the U.S., what's been going on in your minds, and kind of what led you to say, you know what, screw it, we're getting out of here. Let's just go do 3 weeks in Thailand and see what happens.
I mean, I've wanted to study abroad so bad. I want to see the world before I get, I mean, I wouldn't say like trapped down, but before I start getting opportunities for jobs and before I get a 9 to 5 that I can only have like a week vacation. And so I've been wanting to travel as much as I can with the money I have before I graduate and before I get a big girl job, I would say.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Just I've been wanting to travel forever, so.
And well, criminal justice, I'm assuming that then you kind of be stuck to practicing that law in your country. So you're not going anywhere anyways. But finance and economics, still there's possibility. I mean, you got places like Hong Kong, Japan, Singapore. It's out there.
Yeah, but most people I know, they don't leave.
They never leave.
Like, they usually stay in the area and they don't leave, and so you kind of have to make it yourself and do it yourself. Mm-hmm. So once you get a taste of going outside, people leave. Yeah,
and I think you get that travel bug, so maybe this could be the start. Maybe you could do criminal justice in Thailand.
Yeah, maybe.
So let's talk about the process of what you went through to get to Thailand, because I'm sure you probably had no idea in terms of what steps you had to take, what you had to do, and let's walk us through that, because I'm sure there's a million people looking to leave the U.S. as well and travel, and they don't even know where to start.
Yeah, I mean, it was so we kind of started it just by like watching YouTube videos. We're like, oh, Thailand. We kind of looked into it. We saw how much the flights were, and then we saw that we're visa exempt, so we got all excited because we didn't have to apply for a visa. But then we saw that we had to do a certificate of entry, and we needed, vaccines, so we both got vaccinated. And then the certificate of entry was no joke. So, I mean, you can...
Well, yeah, what was the certificate of entry, that process like, and explain what that is exactly?
Yeah, it's like a certificate basically saying that Thailand allows you to go into their country, and the process is just brutal because you have to enter your flight info, your hotel confirmation, a booking for like all the COVID tests, your passport, your vaccine card, and then but there's different steps. So the only reason like that's doable, but like the steps are brutal. So like you apply and then you have to wait like 3 to 5 business days to get accepted for the first step, and then you go apply for other stuff, like say like that's when you put the flight booking and the hotel confirmation.
So at this point you have to book your flight tickets and your hotels before you even start the process.
Yeah, that was tough because it was kind of like a tight squeeze too, since we applied for it kind of late, and then it was like, if we don't get accepted for the COE, then we can't get into Thailand. So, and we already paid for everything.
And you can't get that back? Did they give you that insurance policy? Like if this fails, you can have your flight ticket money back and your hotel money back?
No. The only thing was for the hotel, we had so we left at July 14th, and we had until the 12th to cancel our hotel, and we had a week before the 14th to cancel our flight, and so we didn't get accepted for the COE until like the 12th. So it's kind of tough.
The problem was they wouldn't let us apply for the COE until the 28th, and we were leaving the 14th.
So you applied on the 28th of June.
Yeah, and we left on the 14th of July. And so people that left on July 1st, they applied on the 28th and only had a few days for it to get accepted.
So it's pretty risky at that point.
And
when did you make this decision to actually, let's go through the process? Was it quite quick? Like you're talking June 1st, or you're planning a couple months in advance?
Well, we kind of waited for everything except for the flight. So we bought the flight kind of early. But we waited for everything until we could apply for the COE. So You get to do the first step of the COE and see if you get approved for that. We got denied our first time.
What is that first step?
So you have to get COVID insurance up to $100,000, but it has to say COVID insurance. So the first time it didn't say COVID insurance, so we had to like get more paperwork for it. And then that's where you just do your passport. They make you put an address in Thailand, which is super confusing if you don't have a hotel yet.
So what did you kind of just
we
grab
just put
a hotel?
The hotel, yeah.
The one that you thought you were gonna get, or did you actually end up booking?
We booked it after, actually, so the one we thought we were going to get.
Okay, so there's a loophole. Take notes who's watching. We found one loophole.
Yeah, well, honestly, it was the Facebook group. So there's this Facebook group that really helped through it because I put, oh, what did you put for your address in Thailand? They said, oh, put the hotel and their number and all that. But it's super confusing because the COE doesn't tell you to do that. And so you're like, I don't have an address in Thailand. I'm a tourist.
Yeah, there's certain pieces of information throughout the process that can probably be a bit confusing. What's the name of the Facebook group in case anyone wants to jump in and join them?
So it's through Royal Vacation, I believe.
Is that were you using a travel agent?
No, I found it off of a YouTube video actually. Okay. But can we link it?
We can put links in the description. So links in the description. Send us some affiliate money. Anyways. No, I'm joking. Links in the description. Yeah, we can link that in the description for the contact itself. You said Royal.
I think it's Royal Vacation.
Royal Vacations. And then the Facebook group is different.
The Facebook group is just everyone helping out each other in what they've done. So say we're 5 days away from taking off and we're like, why hasn't our COE been approved? They're not even looking at it. And you can't even call the embassies. Like the embassies are not helpful at all. And I've seen that everywhere it's not helpful. So someone's like, has anyone from Dubai been able to contact? Like they're just not contactable. So it's 5 days before we take off and they haven't done anything about our COE. But then I saw on the Facebook group, everyone was having that problem. So it was like a good anxiousness thing because everyone said they got it like 2 days before they took off. So
and this whole time, who was taking lead on this? Was this Kendell? Was this Cooper?
It was more her.
Yeah. I was doing this.
I helped with the hotel. That's what I helped.
Yeah, you're like, all right, I'll step back.
Yeah.
You don't
Fun
want
parts.
You don't. Well, you don't want two people doing the job and then it's a bunch of misinformation as well. Were you guys having any like sleepless nights, stressing over this, just trying to figure something out, or
near the end it was kind of a little dreadful because having like a whole bunch of money on the line, especially when we're kind of
so it's near the end, waiting on that COE.
Yeah.
So if you get denied again, it's game over.
Yeah, especially near the end, because I think like when we got accepted on 12th, it was usually like 2 to 3 business days. So if it got declined on the 12th one, we would have been like,
we would have lost because we don't have that much money, so that's like a good portion of the money we own.
Yeah.
And you guys came over here on a budget, as most people of your age would do usually when they're coming backpacking. It's the reality.
Yeah.
So if you lose that, and now you're not even traveling in the US, you're going back home.
It made our trip so much more expensive too, just coming during COVID, because we thought we'd get an Airbnb for a month for like $300, because that's kind of how they run right now. And so we're like, oh my gosh, Airbnbs are so cheap. Like we'll be able to live cheap and do fun stuff. And then we had to buy a hotel for 2 weeks.
They wouldn't let you use the Airbnb?
No, they make you use an SHA plus.
Okay, so that's important to know. So you have to have like a dedicated SHA hotel
plus
for the quarantine process when you arrive. But now that quarantine process, you're self-quarantining. I don't know, is that even a word? Maybe. You're self-quarantining, but you can also go out, right?
Yeah, so except for when you're waiting for your test, you can go out.
Okay, and then you get the COE, you're ready to go, you have your insurance, you're about to get on the plane, everything's fine at the airport. Are you guys still kind of like crossing your fingers, or?
We had a big problem.
Yeah, we flew out of Vegas, and we went up, we thought we had all the papers, thought it was good, and we go there, and you're supposed to get a COVID test. It has to be exactly under 72 hours before your departure date. And when we were doing the COVID test, I was like, you know, our flight left at 11 a.m. And I think do you remember what time it was? Was it like 12 or something?
I don't know.
Like
We
that?
did it like 2 hours later. So we did it the departure time of our flight from Vegas to LA because we had to leave out of LA. So we had to fly from Las Vegas to Los Angeles. And that's where we leave the country.
Okay.
And so we had this stewardess that was just awful. And she was like, so this isn't 72 hours. So I don't know what to tell you guys. You guys can't go.
Yeah. She was like, yeah, I can't give you your full booking yet. And I was like, what do you mean? It's like, it's before 72 hours or 72 hours within the departure date. She was like, no, it needs to be 72 hours from when you leave the country and not from this flight. And I was like,
So you timed it that the 72 hours is pretty spot on leaving Vegas, but you didn't time it with the actual departure from LA.
Yeah, and it was like 45 minutes before the flight. And I was like, please, can you just like we have our whole flight on the line. And then she was like, yeah, I just can't. And then we were like, all right, well, you know, we have a 2-hour layover in LA, so let's take the flight there and hope for the best. Like, might as well. So we're like really crunch time. And then we get to LA and we run out of the gate, go all the way to the booking place to our airline. And I don't know if this is legal or not.
Yeah,
but,
it's all legal. Don't worry.
Yeah. Basically, we were like, we can't like hope that they just say, oh, it's not 72 hours. Like, I'm sorry. Like, we were expecting someone to like save the day, so we edited the timestamp on the COVID test
From 12 to 2.
Yeah, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m.
So on Snapchat, I took what the paper looked like and I put it in front of
the paper was already digital?
It was a digital paper.
It was digital anyways.
I just covered up the one. But honestly, we called too, and they said that it would be fine, but we didn't want to risk it because we're like, that's everything. It's an hour or 2 hours from our first COVID test. Could be the reason why we don't come, but we know we're not negative or we're not positive. Yeah. So it's like.
And then you're kind of depending on the mood of the person that makes the decision at the desk.
Yeah, because. But then they were saying that it's after your first flight. So we're like, we would have been fine, but us. it was scary.
Yeah, the girl in LA was like, oh, it's from the first flight when it starts. And then we were like, the girl in LA or Las Vegas told us it was the one from here flight. And we were like, oh, that's.
Well, see, that's a solid piece of advice for people to understand that. Yeah. Make sure it's from the departure of the country itself. Especially, like, imagine if you're coming from buttfuck, who knows, Idaho. And you're trying to get over to, a major port or a major airport such as LA. Yeah. Maybe there's major delays or you can't get there, and if you've timed it too tight, you're pretty much screwed.
Well, our problem too is we flew out of Las Vegas, and Las Vegas is 8 hours away from where we live in Reno. So Nevada's very big, and so we live at the top of Nevada right now, and we had to go to the bottom of Nevada, and so we couldn't take our test. Like, we had to plan a day that we were driving, and so we had to be really smart about taking the test, and so we're like, oh, we'll do it the earliest we can. Yeah. So we didn't miss it, and then...
Especially back then, where, like, you waited, like, 5 to 7 days for the test to come back, so, like, that was, like, the last time I took a COVID test, so I know it's different now because, like, COVID's going definitely less than it was. So, like, when I was taking the test with her, I was like, this could take, like, 3-4 days instead of 2, and then, it doesn't meet the timeline we don't get the results until the departure, and it was a whole bunch of waiting and hoping it came in when we needed it.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like you're really selling this this trip to anyone looking to come.
Yeah. Well, because that's the thing is that...
Sounds a lot. You're rolling the dice a lot.
Yeah, everyone will say this. So, like, until we went on this podcast, I put everything that we did in the back of my head. Like, it's so worth it once you get here, and that's what everyone has said. Like, I'm like, oh, how was the COE? And there's like, it was the worst thing I've ever done, but now we're here. We're in paradise. And so I'd way rather go through all that and be here for a month than be back home.
That says a lot.
No, not even. Just to, like, be able to get out there and explore. And
I mean, you've been everybody has been in lockdown, let's say, and especially in the States for almost 2 years. So what was that process like? And the feeling of finally we're getting the hell out? Like, when that plane took off out of LA, was there a sense of relief?
Oh, no. Well, the U.S. is totally open now.
But before, it's been open, probably since the hockey season. I'm a hockey player, so I just measure things in hockey. Because I saw they were opening up the arenas. I don't believe at the beginning of the year. When did you guys officially open?
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, like, officially, because I know that the governor released a whole bunch of stuff. I think, I don't know,
It was
like
in
maybe
May.
I think maybe like 4 months ago or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the masks went away for a little bit, and then now we just found out that where we live in Reno, they're doing the masks tomorrow again.
They're bringing them back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we used to be able to go anywhere. They had full concerts. All the bars were full, and now they're putting the mask back on. So
Yeah, it's almost like it's even the same as last summer. It's like they're giving everyone the summers to have a little bit of fun, and they're like, it's that little bit of sunshine you get in your jail cell. Go out, guys. But autumn and winter's coming. Time to throw your masks back on. Reality.
Yeah, it was kind of weird at first because like when we left, it was so open. Everyone was doing everything, and then we were like, oh, we're coming here, and we wear masks again, and nothing's open. So it was kind of weird.
Yeah. Now here it's. But let's not jump ahead too much. So the plane takes off. You're en route to Phuket. What legs or where were your layovers?
We left LA, went straight to Tokyo, stayed in Tokyo for an hour and a half, I think.
Were there any issues there when you get off the plane? Is there guys like in hazmat suits? Like
Yeah, they
No,
keep
no,
you in
no.
this little spot.
No, not in Tokyo. Tokyo, the people just had like masks on with like the clear face protecting. And then you could travel, like you can go through majority of the airport. You can't leave out
they're
of the
keeping
airport.
you in departures.
Yeah.
And taking you to international departures as well. So, but you're still you're interacting with other people. Is everyone kind of playing safe because they know they don't want to catch COVID on that next flight? Like the social distancing, is it at its fullest at that stage?
Well, we actually met a family that we were talking to, and they were on every flight with us, and we like met up with them accidentally when we took our first COVID test, and like all this, we kept on seeing them everywhere. But that's the only people we talked to because the plane was pretty much empty.
Yeah, if you're talking about like people in the airport, when we got there was like no one there. It was like fully dead. The only people I saw was maybe a couple people going like here and there, but the only people that like a good amount of people were the people on our flight. And then we left there and then had a 7.5 hour layover in Singapore. And Singapore was crazy. Like Tokyo was was really chill. Singapore was like full lockdown. Everyone was in a hazmat suit. They like walked you in lines like in kindergarten.
Like
They
sheep
give
prongs.
you a little like wristband that you can't, if you tighten it too much, you can't take it off.
Yeah, that part sucked.
Like
Yeah, but
and they have this little spot with no food and a little playground.
yeah, we got there at 1 in the morning.
And there's like a whole bunch of people there.
Yeah.
And nowhere to go, 2 bathrooms that are like being cleaned all the time.
And you're at a 7-hour layover in Singapore.
Yeah, so that one was pretty brutal. Because, like, I know Singapore's airport is, like, one of the coolest airports in the world.
Yeah.
So I was trying to see, like, the garden. And I think they have, like, I don't know if they have, like, I think I heard that they have, like, a hotel in there or something. Cool.
They have an amazing food court, too.
Yeah. So I was like...
Ready to rip it in.
Yeah.
Well, because when I was like, yo, we have a 7-hour layover in Singapore. That'd be really cool. And we go there and we're getting... walk like dogs to a little spot to sit at, and then we waited there for 7 hours.
How many people? Okay, so from LA to Tokyo, were you guys on an Airbus or a 747? Like, what was the size of the plane?
That was an Airbus.
Yeah,
it was an Airbus.
It was big,
and how many people were on this flight? Do you think?
It was full.
Dead. No. The one
The-
to Tokyo.
LA to Tokyo.
Oh.
Yeah, it was dead. It was like no one on there.
Like a handful, 10, 20? Like
it was like at least. It's like under 15.
We had whole rows
people.
to ourselves that we slept on.
Oh,
it
so
was
you don't even need.
super
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
They had movies.
Okay,
free
now
movies.
I'm jealous,
They
yeah.
had meals every. It was nice.
Oh my God. I've done the flight from, I don't know, it's just Southeast Asia to Canada, Toronto, maybe 6, 7 times. And like, unless you're getting an exit row or you're taking first class, like it is a nightmare.
Yeah,
It
ours
is-
was so nice.
Pretty luxurious. I'm not
And
gonna lie.
most of it, so like, you know, those huge planes that have 3 rows and
Yeah.
all that. Our whole spot, there was probably 3 groups. This family of 6, us 2. We had like 6 rows to ourselves. And then everyone was just like distanced on this plane because no one's coming here.
And were you allowed to take the mask off during the flight on the plane?
No.
Not
I couldn't
really.
even take it off like when I tried to sleep. Like she was like, I kind of like put it under my nose a little bit because it's kind of hard. But I would. The only thing they would let you take it off for would be to eat, and that's it.
See, I would have had a hoodie on and just zipped that up, took the mask off. How would they know it's on or not?
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
boom, pass out.
I mean, yeah, the first flight they were pretty lenient. Like sometimes I would leave the mask off for like a little bit after I ate for a little bit, but the second flight from Tokyo to Singapore, Tokyo to Singapore, they were like, yo, mask up.
But
And I
this
was like,
flight was full, Tokyo to Singapore.
no, that one was the same amount
It
of people.
was
Same.
the same exact people came
Ah, okay.
all the way with
Yeah,
us.
this Singapore to Phuket, there was a lot of people on that one.
Okay. Now, which airline were you guys on?
Singapore.
The whole way.
Yeah,
Alaskan
from LA.
at one
No,
point?
so it was Alaskan from Las Vegas to LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a normal one. And
Yeah.
then Singapore all the way until Phuket. And then we were in the big one, the big plane to Tokyo and to Singapore, and then from Singapore to Phuket it was the small one.
Yeah, the Airbus.
And it was
Yeah,
Oh,
packed.
Singapore Airlines, it's one of the best airlines as well.
Yeah, it was
Now,
really nice.
how expensive was the flight itself?
It was like $880 a person.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I would have thought, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not too bad then.
Yeah.
we
I
got
was
it a
thinking
little more in advance than everything else.
Yeah.
So it made it a little cheaper and COVID.
Yeah,
But
we met a guy yesterday. Was it yesterday?
I don't know.
2 days
Yeah.
ago? Yeah, yesterday or 2 days ago. The dude that she said that was from Reno that saw my
Okay.
hat or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
We met a dude from Reno, and he basically said that he got his ticket for like $600 or something like that. Which I was like, whoa.
So these airlines, they're not making any money.
Yeah,
they're
because I
just-
think usually it's like over 1,000, something like that, right?
Yeah, yeah, at least, and on Singapore Airlines maybe more. I mean, it's one of the more luxurious airlines like Cathay and Emirates.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
also they only had 2 transits. So when we were in LA, they said, "Are you the blah 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 blah?" So they have the same people on each transit.
Yeah,
So if you're not going to Thailand, you're not on that flight path. It was kind of weird. So like we were on the plane the entire time with the same people.
yeah. Maybe they just don't want to be mixing and mashing and then having to track down where these people went and who has
Yeah.
COVID. And
Yeah.
I don't even this podcast. Who knows? YouTube's probably going to ban this whole account. See what happens.
They'll probably hunt us down
We're-
after they
we're-
know we.
No,
did the
no.
COVID
I doubt
test.
that. We're just going to get shadow banned on YouTube. Apparently,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a millennial word I just learned.
Shadow ban.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah.
We don't hear a lot of stuff. Living in Thailand, you're pretty sheltered. Like there's no news. I mean, there's news if you want it, but I mean, we don't have CNN. Everything here is just like you got Netflix and YouTube on your phone, and you cast it to the TV, and that's pretty much it. So, yeah, we're a bit sheltered on the lingo.
Yeah.
Like I'm
That's
sure,
kind of beautiful. though.
I'm sure I've said like 50 derogatory terms that I haven't realized have been like banned by now.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
kinda
you're-
we live in the shadows.
You're avoiding the bad parts, so
Yeah.
you're doing good.
And so you're going through the ringer in Singapore. This is pretty much, the end of the world. They got the hazmat suits on. They're herding you around like sheep.
Yep.
That's 7 hours. Like, what type of restrictions did you have at the airport in terms of where you could go, where you couldn't go? Was it almost like ET style, where there's basically a bubble around you of different exits and entrances?
Yeah.
You couldn't leave. Like it was just this little area, and they had chairs that were super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then there were way more people than we thought, like way more people than Tokyo. And so people were sleeping on the floor. Like it seemed like we were on the border, and we were, I don't know if you
Yeah.
know any of that U.S. News.
Oh no.
But
no.
but literally it was like they had some vending machines, and some of them only took Singapore dollars,
And there's no exchange.
and there's
there.
no exchange.
So we're like,
And so there was one thing that we could use our phone on, or like our card on, And so we just got like little snacks for 7 hours, and
Just
we're
eating
starving.
Kit Kats and Doritos.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Yeah,
So-
it was full, like it felt like all of us were infected. Like, they were like, no one could like leave. It was like probably the size of like maybe like the size of like 2 normal size stores or something like that. Like maybe
like a convenience store, or
no, like do you know Walmart?
yeah.
Yeah, like it's like probably the size of like a Walmart probably.
Okay.
Yeah. And
That's not the end. That's
Yeah.
it's not horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. But everyone was in there. I think our flight was like one of the last flights in there or something. So we were like pretty tired. So we were trying to like, sleep, especially because we weren't allowed to do anything. So then, but everyone was there before us. So they were taking up all the seats, laying down. So we were either stay up or lay on the floor, and we just stood up. So
you're getting there at 1 a.m. and so your flight to Phuket is going to be at what, 8 a.m., 9 a.m.?
yeah, it was originally at like 7:30, and then they sent a text and said it was delayed to like 9 or something.
Because of all that airport traffic.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And when you're getting on that flight, are they COVID testing at any point during this entire process again?
No.
Oh.
It was just have the same documents. They don't check the COE and all that extra stuff. It's just a passport and ticket, just to get into the flight. And then the only stuff we had to use that stuff for is when we actually got to Phuket.
So, like, what advice would you give to people that are watching it, all 10 people? What advice would you give them if you were to go through that process again? Maybe little nuggets that you wish, I wish I did that, I wish I did that. And I'm assuming one little one is just maybe if you're going to Japan and you're going through Singapore, bring a little bit of yen, bring a little bit of Singapore dollar, just so you can buy stuff if you get stuck. Is there anything else you would do differently?
I mean, we're kind of like low rollers. Like, we kind of just ate what they gave us on the plane, and then we took like a snack or one or two. But I mean, if you have a family, so like the family, they said that once they got off the plane, they're like, hey, is there any food out here? And so they just gave them all the snacks from the plane.
Oh, there you
And
go.
so the family got all the snacks. But definitely ask for that if you're trying to if you have to wait in Singapore, because Singapore is no joke. Maybe bring a pillow. I don't know.
Yeah, bring
But
snacks.
We only had backpacks, so it wasn't too
Yeah, I
bad.
brought I'm like probably more hungry than most people, so I brought like a whole carton of like these cream filled oatmeal sandwiches. They're called cream pies.
Nice.
Just dumped them all in my backpack, and those are like the only reason why I survived the flight. So especially when we got there. When I got to Singapore, because I had like 6 left, and I ate all 6 of them at Singapore. So I would say definitely bring snacks. Try to get any food.
And what about water's okay? That's always being provided.
Yeah,
You
they
get
give
it.
you a
water
bunch
was
of
good. Yeah,
waters.
water was
That's
chilling.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're getting on the flight. You're finally going to Phuket. I'm assuming there's no issues on the flight. This plane's a little bit more full.
Yeah.
What happens when the plane lands? And just let's walk through that process.
Yeah, so I have some cool pictures, but they give you a SIM card that, of course, doesn't work in our phones. But they have this like whole row of chairs that everyone's sitting in, and they like yell at you if you get up, like that kind of thing. And no, it wasn't actually. It was actually a really smooth process. But they check all your paperwork at like 3 different stations. They fingerprint you, and that was about it. And they COVID test you outside.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad when we got there. I mean, it took like probably like maybe like 35 minutes maybe.
After the plane's landed, you've gotten into the airport. It's another like 35 minutes to get out the doors.
Yeah.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I thought it was gonna be like 2 hours because they gotta check everyone, especially with a big flight like that. And we got there. There was like another like 3-step approval thing. There was like the first step where you sit in these chairs and a whole bunch of like girls in suits come over, check all your documents, make sure they're the right order. And then you wait there until they tell you to go over to the next spot. And then the next spot, they put your hotel in. They like scan your documents, I think. And then that's like the second confirmation, I guess.
Yep.
And then the third one is like when they give you the stamp and like give you all the
like your entry on your passport into Thailand. Stamp.
Like the third.
What point did you do the COVID test? Is that step 1?
No, that
No,
one.
step
That's
4.
that's step 4. The last
Okay.
step. Yeah. So the 3 steps are just to get like into Phuket, and then the last step before you you have to take a taxi too. Like you can't take like.
It has to be an approved taxi.
Yeah, not
Approved taxi.
Yeah.
To your hotel, and you guys are in Kamala, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do the COVID test in the airport after they've stamped you and you've gone through the gate, and obviously they're not giving you the results right away. No.
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 Yeah.
And it was a brutal test. They went like.
Oh yeah, they don't joke around.
Like
here
they
with the
were,
test.
and it was like in one of those boxes where they have their hands covered.
Yeah.
It was pretty. It was pretty.
I would
funny.
say for whoever's watching, for sure, because like in America, I mean, you do it yourself. You just go up here. It's like a little tingle, and you move it around, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Here they just go.
They
there.
go vertical, just like, and it hurts for a couple more
Damn.
minutes. Yeah, it's no joke.
They get in there, and then they stick it out. Your eyes are watering, and then
You like think that your nose is gonna like.
yeah, it's bad because I mean,
Oh.
yeah, it's pretty brutal. But and then once we get that, then we get like a little stamp, like it was like a sticker or something, and then
Yeah, they put a sticker on your arm.
Yeah.
saying like that you're tested or something, and then you go to like the taxi station.
Did you get your bags at this point?
Oh, we just had
We
backpacks.
had backpacks, so we made our process so much easier.
Yeah, we
You
don't
didn't
know.
want you didn't want to deal with losing luggage, and
Yeah.
I gotcha.
And I usually wherever I go, I just do a backpack. So
Make it easy.
yeah, but then we just go taxi straight to the hotel.
That taxi, is it ready for you with a sign?
So
That's what it's supposed
we
to be.
messed up. So
Yeah.
we had so much to go through that I totally just spaced. I thought I already got a taxi from the hotel, but I
Yeah.
totally didn't. So they were super good about it though. I was like Novotel, and then they didn't know, and so he was just like, "Oh, I got you. You have 500 baht or something."
Yeah,
And then just got us a taxi. It was super easy.
It was like just an airport taxi, so it's kind of like a little more expensive.
Was it
but
the van or like an actual looking taxi?
just like a car.
it was like a
Oh, okay.
Toyota
Sim-
Camry.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that they have to be dedicated to be able to transport you.
Yeah, they have
That
to be
there's
approved.
specific approved taxis.
SHA, yeah.
So you hop in this taxi, and now it's taking you to the hotel.
Yeah, hotel on there, and then that's where you can't do anything until you're approved, like till you're good to go.
Okay, so you've landed. The process, it seems quite simple actually, getting out of the airport. Besides this COVID test, I'm sure you've scared a few people.
Yeah.
No, it was actually. I mean, you'll
Yeah.
be fine.
Yeah,
Maybe
just a
take
second.
a couple shots before it, or like psych yourself up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so bring a couple bottles of whiskey and
Oh.
just smash it.
One thing I'd recommend is that family, especially having a family.
Yeah.
He had every document printed in this binder. And so he had copies of passports. He had them all in one place. He had them all in order. That would make it so much easier. Because then no one has to like go through all your papers. Like
You're
you
not
have them all in
fumbling.
order. Because you have a lot of paperwork that you need, like your insurance, your COE.
So make a binder, use some colorful tabs,
Yeah.
laminate that stuff, or put it in little folders, and then when you arrive, you're ready to go.
Oh, also, we didn't print anything out. So at the LA airport, they had to print everything out
Yeah, you
for
need
us.
you actually need like papers.
Physical
Yeah.
documents for Thailand.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good point. So yeah, if you're putting together like a colored tab binder where it's easy to navigate, would just make life a little simpler every time you've reached, immigration or whoever's doing testing.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're going from the airport to Kamala at the Novotel, and they charged you. You said about 500 baht.
Yeah, it was like
Okay, that's
600,
a fair price. That's Phuket. It's not. Sometimes they could hose you for like 1,200 if they want.
Yeah.
So okay, that's fair. And then what's the process? You get out of your taxi at the hotel, hazmat suits at reception, or
No,
they're kind of welcome you with I don't know, a Chang or a Singa, or how does that work?
No, they were just like, oh, like they checked us in, and then we just went to our room.
Yeah, it was like a normal.
And they walked us to
reception,
our
yeah.
room, and it was super nice.
Yeah, I just wasn't ready for the heat, the humidity, especially because, I'm from Vegas.
So dry, yeah.
Yeah, it's dry and hot. So I was like, oh, it's hot here. It's not gonna.
See,
be a
that's the
problem.
thing. When I went to Vegas, I couldn't handle the dry weather.
Oh,
It was
you're
like,
used to the humidity.
the day I got to Vegas, like I was there for work, and like I was so tempted to buy like saline and start like driving it up my nose. Like everything, my eyes were dry, my skin was dry, my lips went dry. I was only there for like 5 days, and like 5 more days and I would have like dried up. I couldn't take it. It was painful. Like you get nosebleeds. Because here we're basically basking in humidity all the time. Like we're so lubed up, let's say.
Yeah.
But when you get to Vegas, it was painful. It was not enjoyable. Even LA was dry, I found.
Even going the opposite though, going from dry to heat, it's not satisfying.
No.
Or like to humidity, it doesn't feel good.
You guys are probably just sweating all the time.
No,
all the time.
The first day, so we met that family on the flight, and they're here for like nonprofit, like make bags for villages for food and stuff.
Yeah.
And the dad asked us to come help him, and we were like, yeah, sure, why not? So then we went out there, and basically it was at a like a boxing place. And
was it with Sean?
Yeah, it was with Sean.
It was Sean.
But Sean, he wasn't on the flight. The family was coming to help Sean.
Yeah, so
They're
they
friends
knew
with
Sean.
Oh, okay.
And so and so they were from San Diego, and they were coming to help him. And so we came with them, and Sean was there. So we met Sean. It was a great little like community that came.
You went over to Sutai to the gym.
Yep.
So you met Nando and Amy and
they were all
Hunter
amazing.
running around.
Yeah.
We've had like this small little community here. So what episode was that with Sean? 11? 10? Oh yeah. So episode 10, Sean Stenning, 5-star Marine. Go watch that episode if you want to learn like full on about that. Like we did a whole episode. He brought up videos, and actually our first episode with Nando, he explained it as well. I'm sure we'll get another maybe a guest coming through and explaining it. So you went over to Sutai. You helped packing the lunches, packing the bags. How was that experience? How long were you guys there for?
It was super great because it was super fun meeting everybody. It was super fun, but this was like our first experience with the humidity.
Yeah, that's the only reason why.
And so it was like we were outside and we were like lugging all the rice bags and like carrying stuff. Yeah. And oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever sweat that much in my life. But it was fun.
What time was it at in the day? Like
it was in the morning. Yeah, it was in the morning.
Still, 10 a.m.'s hot here. Like it's no joke.
Well, because we also walked from Novotel. So we walked from Kamala.
Shit.
Yeah. And
so it was like
it's 40 minutes.
Yeah, it was like a 30-minute walk or so.
But it's up the hill, down and around, and they're ripping around on motorbikes. It's not a safe road to walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just hot.
Yeah, we got there. It was really fun. Good to help people get the bags and stuff. And then I just say it's bad because the humidity was just brutal. Like
so this was on your first day or second day?
It was the first day we got to the hotel, ate food, and passed out for like 13, 14 hours.
Because we had to wait for our COVID test.
Yeah, and we were like jet lagged too, so we just passed out.
You were probably door to door. You guys did 30 plus hours, no? Like by the time you left your homes in Nevada and arrived at the hotel, door to door, was it about 30 plus?
Yeah, it was like 32 or something like
32
that.
hours.
It was 32, and then we took an 8-hour drive from Reno to Vegas.
So you're talking 40. You're talking almost 2 days, like door to door.
Yeah.
You guys were real dedicated to get the hell out of the U.S. and see something else.
Especially because it's my first time like traveling. Because like the longest flight that I've been on was to Hawaii for 5 hours, and like, I mean, this was like 32. It was better because there's layovers and stuff, but it was still like definitely a new experience though. So
when you get to the hotel, so they're taking the COVID test from the airport. You got to go to the hotel, and then that COVID test, you get results in 14 hours, or how long does it say? 24 hours to get the results?
We got it at like 6 o'clock that night.
But when they put you into the hotel room, are you stuck in that room until the results come out?
Yeah.
So now you're back in another jail cell for what?
Quarantine.
You're in there for another 12 hours ish?
No, well, because we fell asleep at like 2 p.m., but we passed out the whole time.
Yeah.
And we got it at 6 p.m. So technically we got it in like
so no,
they come pretty fast, but we just passed out.
And then the second you get the results and it's negative, you're allowed to leave, and now you can go around the whole island of Phuket, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we went around, and they make you install an app on your phone that basically tracks you, and then basically says if like what risk you are, like what's your like high risk, low risk of like being or having the virus. So
And maybe because they can track if you go to a place that there was an outbreak,
Yeah,
they can track back to you and say, now you're high risk, come in, do it type of thing.
yeah,
do a
yeah,
test.
yeah.
And you're supposed to check with your hotel every night, but they don't
Check-
really.
Check in with the hotel.
Yeah, but
Yeah, they're
they
supposed
don't
to scan.
really do that.
I see what you just. Every place you go, you need to scan, or it must just be tracked because of the GPS.
Yeah,
no?
so they track with the GPS, but your hotel is supposed to check every night.
Yeah.
But
But we
I
don't,
mean,
yeah, you
it's
don't
they
need
just
to.
give up on that.
Yeah, yeah.
it's just kind of a lot
Yeah.
because we stay the same risk the whole time because it's not like we're going places. But
And then, so you've been here. How long have you got here on the 14th, 15th?
yeah,
So you've been here about
15.
2 weeks. Now, before you can check out of the hotel, you have to do a full 14 days.
Mhm.
So you finished that now, or tomorrow is
No,
the
it's Friday.
Friday's the
Friday.
last day.
Yep.
And at that point, you're planning to check out to maybe go to check into like a cheaper hotel.
Yeah, so that's when it'll get cheaper, but then we have to pay for a hotel every night. So it's like, because I think the hotel was about $700 for the 2 weeks,
Okay.
so it wasn't awful, and it's a super nice hotel.
Yeah, you're right on the beach at Kamala.
Yeah.
The quality of the hotel is nice, and you're right beside the Intercontinental.
Yeah, yeah.
And the beach is a bit funky there, but there's a lot of garbage. But anyways,
Yeah, we think it's nice. We went surfing. It wasn't.
Yeah, it was
fun.
brutal. It was not.
so they now on Friday you're free to travel. Do you have a plan? What's next? Or are you kind of just gonna make decisions, as you go?
I would say our definite spots that we want to go to, Koh Phi Phi and Krabi, some like cool touristy spots in Thailand. And we're trying, like, for the most part, we're gonna wing it, just like for staying areas, like, say we go to Koh Phi Phi and like stay in a Airbnb or a hotel up there for a couple of days or something like that. So we're just gonna wing it.
But you
for the
only
most
have
part.
2 weeks left, right?
No, we have till the 10th, or
10th.
we have to be back here the 9th, just in case,
Okay.
Phuket. So probably
Okay.
like what is that? Like a week and a half.
Yeah,
2 weeks
not
or-
a lot, not too much time. So I mean, you guys, you put a lot of effort into making this happen, but you're not even here that long, 3.5 weeks.
Yeah.
But 2 of those weeks, you're still stuck to a hotel that you didn't get a huge decision on either. But it's fine. It's gorgeous. So
Yeah.
would you, if you were to think back on the day you made the decision to come to Thailand, would you do it all again?
I mean, yeah, because I think, we have our mopeds, so we get to go around the island, and the island's beautiful and has a lot to do. The only thing that we're kind of disappointed about is that Bangkok's not worth going to, northern Thailand's not worth going to, and so
Worth meaning because of the risk, or just because everything's kind of in lockdown?
everything's in lockdown. So it's kind of hard because then we're like, when are we going to go to Thailand next? Like, when are we going to be able to see those places? But also, we're in paradise. So it's either go back and do our normal stuff for another month of summer and then go back to school, or go to Thailand for summer and then go back to school.
But why did you guys decide not to stay a bit longer? Why cut the trip short?
It's like a week before we go back to school.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're like limited from school. But I mean, our original plan, like if we didn't have to stay in the hotel for 2 weeks, we wanted to do like a Airbnb and like full on travel. Obviously it's different with the like restrictions and COVID. All
Yeah, and
over.
you don't want to get stuck off the island, and there could be some risk there as well.
Yeah, we were just trying to go all over the place, but I mean, you got to work with what you're given. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what have you guys done in the past 2 weeks? Some stories, some of your travel experience, people that you met, besides someone like myself. What have you done so far, and what did you like? What was maybe surprising? What was maybe disappointing?
We've done a good amount, I would say. We went to go see the Big Buddha, a lot of sightseeing just to see the island.
A lot of tourist stuff.
Yeah, just
for sure.
typical tourist stuff. A lot of sightseeing.
Tigers, the monkeys.
Yeah, saw the
elephants.
monkeys. The monkeys are very scary.
Did you go to the Phuket Monkey Hill? and you go up to the top.
We just went to the viewpoint where you throw the bananas at the monkeys and stuff.
Yeah, but they're vicious.
Yeah, they're intense.
Yeah, they're scary because like they have a big sign on the front, and it basically says every like possible outcome from like a bite or something.
Yeah,
and there's like
There's
rabies,
pictures of the diseases.
Yeah, and the
and
dude's
you're
like dead with foaming in his mouth, and I'm like, I was like, I don't want to get near these monkeys.
this
at
is
all.
the Phuket town. We call Monkey Hill, I think. And then you drive up to the top, and there's dogs at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, well, I tried to go to that place, but I don't know if I.
I wonder where you were.
Yeah, we just saw this big. It was just like this pond with monkeys.
Yeah, it was like it's called like the Monkey Viewpoint or something like that.
Monkey View, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I try to go to Monkey Hill, but it's like Phuket, downtown Phuket, and it's like a little off to the side, and like I don't know the spot obviously, but
Phuket town, right?
Yeah, and it's just like a little like a ledge with the monkey statues, and then walk over and the monkeys are like all grouped up, and they're like little tiny ones, some big ones.
Yeah, they're quite vicious looking. Like they have that pack mentality, so it's a bit
well, they sell you peanuts and bananas across the street.
Yeah.
And so they like come up to you and grab your basket and try to like steal the peanuts and stuff. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, and you don't want to get scratched by one of these little buggers. I mean, those things they could rip your hands off if
they're
they
horrifying.
Want.
Yeah.
It was pretty scary, especially because I mean, one little bite too, or like she would give a banana. Like she was trying to do like the hand, like the monkey gets the banana out of the hand. I was like, what are you doing?
I was feeling ballsy.
I think they're okay as long as like another one doesn't get jealous.
Yeah,
that's where you got to be careful.
Yeah, some of them like jump and like try to get it real quick and stuff like that. It's pretty fast too. So there was one that was like mooching off her pretty bad, like just like coming up to her,
following me around.
And he was like aggressive too. Like she would be like in a corner, and he would like jump up on the ledge and like basically like and then try to grab the basket and stuff. And she's small, so it's like you can easily get it too.
They're pretty. I've been there once to one of those hills, and I wouldn't go back.
Yeah,
it's pretty. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it's cool to see the monkeys, but it's a little scary too.
But they're not scared of you. Like you in Thailand with the dogs here.
Yeah.
Like if they're vicious, usually there's a couple tricks you can do. Where like one, if you have a stick and just wave it, they're gone. Two, if you don't have a stick, you fake pick up a rock and just throw nothing, and they're gone. Yeah. But the monkeys, if you do that, they're gonna come right at you.
Yeah.
So like having a stick like that, they're like, all right, let's go.
We saw one was like jumping on a car, and they were trying to get it off the car.
They're super aggressive.
Yeah.
And so you went to Phuket town. Did you visit all the beaches, Naiharn, Rawai, Kata, Karan?
No, we went down there to see a museum. And
it was closed.
It was closed. I don't know if it was like the day, because I know there was just a holiday or something.
Yeah,
like that.
It could have been the holiday.
Yeah, so I don't know if it was like after the holiday. But we went down to the museum, and then we were like, oh. So then I was like, yeah, we could see the monkeys, but then, I accidentally parked in a car spot, and
oh yes, okay. So explain what happened there, because Again, this is small little nuggets for any travelers coming here. How not to lose 500 baht.
Yeah, so parked in a car spot. I didn't know that they couldn't park in there. It's like the bigger spots compared to the super skinny spots.
Yeah.
And went in the car spot maybe for like...
Oh, and to explain, you're driving a motorbike.
Moped, yeah, moped.
Yeah, we're driving a moped. We're not driving a car. Okay.
Moped in a big spot. We were probably in the museum. Well, not in the museum, but like inside area for like maybe like 3-4 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
And some dude, we were in there just messing around, and some dude comes, waves at me, and he's like, your bike. And I was like, he was pointing to like the area, and I was like, no, that's not my bike. And then he was like, no, they're locking it or something. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I locked my moped. And then I go out there, and I was like, please don't be stolen. And then it's some cop fully locked it from like tire to top. And then I ran over there, and he was like, yeah. He's like, this is a car spot. You can't. And I was like, oh, that's so tough.
And so he's put the chain on wheel to wheel. Yeah.
Yeah. And he just told me, he was like, yeah, you got to go up to the police station and pay for it, 500 baht. And then I was like, because I know they take bribes here. So I was like, yo.
I didn't know they took bribes.
I don't think they take them here. I think they take them in Bali.
I'm joking. Yeah. No, everybody kind of knows that here, but I mean, it's not really a bribe. It's kind of just a way to make the process easier.
Yeah. And I tried. I was like, is there any way I can do it now? Quick little 100 baht extra or something. And then he was like, no way, buddy. You got to go over there. And it was like a 10-minute walk or something like that. So he just pointed a direction and started walking over there. And then I got a taxi over there.
They said it was 2 kilometers. And we were like, oh, that's not very far. Like, we can walk. And then he's like, 2 kilometers, very far. And we're like, okay. So then we got the taxi. But someone paid for it. It was super nice because we were asking them where it was. And he's like, just go. Yeah. And then so the taxi took him. And I walked back. But I guess 2 kilometers actually isn't that far.
Yeah, maybe that's 10-15 minute walk.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, because I'll kind of elaborate on that because the way that it works in Thailand is if you get a ticket, it can be little things. It could be a helmet. Usually they'll get you on helmet, license. Parking in a car spot on a motorbike, I've actually never heard of that before. That's the first time I've heard of that. So watch out. They're looking for anything. And also probably you guys look like tourists. Yeah. I mean, usually the tourists have a look to them.
Yeah, maybe he saw us.
He saw you. Up. He probably saw you guys go in there, and he hit you up for money. Yeah. So you go to these. They're not police stations. They're like police sheds. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. And you go in there, and they sign a piece of paper, and you pay your 500 baht, and you go away, and that's just, it is what it is. Yeah. But at that point, you've been locked up on your tires. There's nothing you can do anyway. So you paid the 500, you moved on. And then from there, I mean, what were you guys doing the rest of the day? Where were you guys headed? You're from Phuket town?
Phuket town, that's when we went to the monkeys after. Yeah. Hanging out with the monkeys a little bit. And then that's when we just head back because it's like a 40-ish minute drive from Mala.
Did you take the highway or did you take the beach road the whole way?
I think it was the highway. It was a big road. So
I mean, like, did you, when you were driving to Phuket town and you're at Novotel, did you head south towards Patong or head this way towards
Surin? Yeah, I went to Surin.
Oh yeah, so you went all the way up to the. Oh wow.
Yeah. Well, we looked on maps and that was like the quickest way. So.
And the most dangerous. But.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you do that next time, especially now with no tourists, it's honestly 10 minutes longer. Oh. But go south. Because from now, anything that, like, if you're traveling on the motorbike, just even if you're going to Naiharn where you are, it will want to shoot you up to the highway. But the beach road is gorgeous. It's all. Have you done the whole beach road along the coast?
No.
Yeah, it's all mountains and cliffs. It's It's gorgeous for someone on the back seat, but the person driving, you're like.
Oh yeah, the roads. Because I've never driven a moped before. Yeah. So when we first got the moped, it was like terrifying because we went from Kamala to Patong, and it was like we hitchhiked, which is pretty clutch because. We were gonna walk because we didn't have anything, and we couldn't have ride like little bicycles there because we had to get the moped back. So we were gonna walk, and I was like, I know the hitchhike here just for fun, and then I stuck my thumb out for maybe 30 seconds or something like that. First car drove by, second car stopped, pulled over. Some dude from LA with a Thai girlfriend or wife, and he was like, "Yeah, we'll take you there." And I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." And
it was the nicest thing that ever happened to us because we were watching when he was driving up, and I was like, "Yo, if we walked this, I would have killed you."
Yeah, it was like 2 hours, 2-hour walk. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably a 2-hour walk, and it's uphill, downhill, left.
No, the uphill's bad.
The first Kamala hill would have been insane.
Yeah.
Well, that was us just trying to be cheap. Yeah. Because there was some guy that was gonna sell us a moped here. Yeah. And then we're like, oh, this place is good and it's cheap, and so we were gonna walk there, and it was a 2-hour walk, and it was super hot. And so hitchhiking, that was a good decision.
It's interesting, especially during COVID, they would take that risk as well, bringing you in their car to catch COVID.
Well, it was crazy because it was a guy from LA. Yeah. And he moved here 12 years ago. And so.
What was his name? Maybe we know him.
Shoot, I don't know.
I don't think he told us his name.
I don't think he told us, yeah.
Oh,
but
he was driving a black Mazda. That's all we know.
Mazda.
Yeah, he was super nice. It was a godsend.
Does he have like short hair?
He's Asian.
Oh, he's Asian.
Yeah.
Oh, okay then.
And he lives in Laguna. That's what he told us.
Huh.
Yeah.
You know who it is?
Surfer guy in Kamala?
Yeah, he was super nice.
Oh.
He was godsend. That was amazing.
Yeah, you're not. Again, if you walk that, you would probably be the first people to walk that.
Yeah, I don't think anyone in their right mind would do that.
No.
So we've
it's
made
not
some
bad.
mistakes.
The walk from Kamala to here, I've done it a few times. That's okay.
It was
but
super
to
nice.
Patong, no, that's insanity.
We've done some of those things that most people wouldn't do. So.
Yeah. And we got dropped off, got the moped, and then once we got the moped, then it's been a breeze.
So, okay, sorry. The point of you going to Patong was to get the moped.
Yeah. Cause
why didn't you just get one in Kamala?
Oh, because us
we're
being cheap. Yeah. So
it was cheaper to get in Patong?
Yeah, because we met this dude. We were just walking. Some guy went up to us because they're trying to advertise and stuff. And then he was like, oh, if you want to rent a motorbike from us, you could. And then we asked prices. He was like, for 1 week, it's like 1,400 baht, which is like
200 a day, yeah.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know, like a little over, probably like $40 or something like that for a week. And I was like, I don't know, I think I can get it cheaper. So then I started looking online, and then I look on this place, and it's like one of like the top rated in Phuket, and it's in Patong. Yeah. And then they had one for the whole month for 3,000.
That's normal.
Yeah. And we weren't gonna stay here for a month. We're gonna stay here like three-ish weeks. So then, I called and I was like, you know, what would it be for the cheapest motorbike for 3 weeks? And then she said 3,000. And I was like, is there any way we can go cheaper? Cause I'm here for 3 weeks. And then she was like 2,500 baht. And I was like, all right, cool. So
okay, so
like
less than 1,000 a week instead of 1,400.
Yeah.
Yeah, that price is most tourists. It's 200 baht a day.
Yeah.
So you've paid 3,000 for 3 weeks.
Yeah, 2,500.
So you've saved what is that? 3, 4, 12, 1,200 baht, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But that walk alone would have been insane.
Yeah.
But
I would have paid 1,200 baht.
But here's the problem. You need to go drop it off in Patong. How are you getting back?
Exactly.
Well, actually, we met someone, super nice guy. We gotta just, what's the burger shack called? Big Boy Burger Club?
Yeah, Big Boy.
I gotta say, Big Boy Burger Club. You gotta go.
Yeah.
But
did he tell you to say that before you came on?
No. But the owner said that we could borrow his motorbike.
Show him that clip. You're getting a free burger. Yeah, I just plugged you. Boom. Okay, so he'll let you go. One of you will. Yeah, but who you're gonna have to? Are you driving the bike, or have you both been driving?
I've been driving the bike.
So you're gonna have to drive the bike.
I'm gonna have to drive a bike.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's gonna have to practice.
It's not a bad. Honestly, it's not. The only part on that drive that's difficult is it's when you leave Kamala and you're going to Patong. Going up the hill's fine. It's the first downhill, and you'll see some red paint.
Yeah, that's the one they're doing construction on.
They're doing construction. Yeah. That hill scares me a bit, and just careful when it's raining. But honestly, when in doubt in Thailand, just go slow. But after that bend, the rest of the drive is quite easy. Because after that bend, you go up a steep hill. Going uphill it could be like that. It's quite easy. Yeah. Going down when it's raining because it's slippery. Yeah. And just don't hit the front brake. That's it. Yeah. But to be honest, I've been driving here I've lived in Thailand 5 years and driving in Southeast Asia 12. I've never had an accident. No. Yeah. And most people that have accidents, it's their fault. Yeah, they're driving too fast. They're trying to do a pass. They've slipped on sand. They've done something they shouldn't have been doing. You just have to drive quite, it's like offensive defensive, meaning if you see a car parked up in front of you and his lights are on, but he's just parked, and you have to predict he's going to pull in front of you at some point. Yeah. So instead of just he's parked, I'll go. No, you slow down, you see that car. Little things like this. And when you're driving a motorbike, especially in Thailand, never turn your head back. So in the US and Canada, we always, you check your blind spot. You don't do that here. Because the second you do that, something can come here. Yeah. So when you drive, you just use your mirrors and you use peripheral vision. Most of the people that get in accidents, you start turning, you're looking at cliffs and things, and you never know, something can just dart in front of you. It could be a dog sleeping on the thing. It could be a Thai guy that just rips out of a side road. So that's my best advice.
Yeah. When I first got the moped, I was like so scared because like people are going like so fast here.
Yeah.
So they're just zooming by you, and I like don't even know how to turn that good. I got on a little better since we obviously got it, but yeah, that's no joke here, especially if you've never ridden a moped before, going from like America. I mean, if you don't live in like New York or LA, because I know the traffic's brutal there. But if you, because like me in Vegas, like Las Vegas traffic's not bad at all for me at least. So, I mean, this and like the traffic here is not bad, but it's like moped going like
and everyone's
cars.
Flying past you.
Yeah, it's a little intimidating, but
and especially if you've never done it. And
yeah,
Kamala is not the easiest place to learn. This area is really good for learning. You can, it's all flat here. There's no hills.
Yeah.
So you guys you're planning. Sorry, I didn't understand, or maybe I missed that part. On Friday, you could technically check out of the hotel, but you're planning to go to another place, or you're gonna stay.
We haven't decided yet.
Haven't decided.
Yeah.
We're winging it. We're winging it.
Winging it.
We do want to leave though, like from the hotel. We don't want to stay in the hotel. But yeah, we're planning to go like Koh Phi Phi, Krabi, that area, and see what it brings.
See, now I don't. To go to Koh Phi Phi, you need the vaccine, and I don't know if maybe they'll make sure that you have like a 72-hour COVID test.
Oh, because
I don't know.
What's hard too is that each COVID test has cost. I forgot to mention this, but it costs $80, $70, something like that.
And how many tests have you done?
We have to do 3, so we've done 3, and so for the both of us, it's been almost $600. Like that was our biggest out of the blue expense.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
So
crazy.
that was the one thing where like if you want to come here, you got to have like money set aside.
So, okay, so every test, each of you is paying $80. You done 3 tests, and you weren't. What did you think would happen? They were free or included the testing, or?
No, I didn't think. Well, I just didn't think about it because it's free in America. So we get tested for free in America.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking, oh, maybe insurance would cover it. But no, they make you prepay for your COVID test for the COE.
That's way before you've left U.S. This is all prepaid.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we paid for insurance, like COVID-19 specific insurance. So we were like, oh, we got the insurance.
Did you have to go through a specific insurance company in the U.S. to get that insurance?
Just anything that covers COVID-19 internationally.
We
and
found
how
a
much
cheap one, too.
did you have to pay for that?
$30.
It was like $30.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was nothing.
Horrible. So I was like, oh, $30.
That's
get
okay.
The COVID test done. And then out of nowhere, she was like, yeah, we got to pay $80 per test. And I was like, oh, that's so bad.
What do you, individually, what do you guys think you paid on this trip, but without the flight, hotel, food, like just the process of COVID stuff? How much do you guys think you paid?
So it's like almost $600 a piece for COVID tests. So not a piece, $600 total. So $300 for COVID tests, $30 for insurance. It was mostly the flight and the hotel, because the hotel was a bigger expense because we weren't expecting to stay there.
Yeah.
And then the COVID tests were the ones that shocked us the most because it's free in America.
So it's basically $200 to $300 a person to deal with the COVID stuff
to deal
as
with
like an
all that
additional cost when you're coming here, and then also being prepared for, you don't get to choose your hotel, so you
get
can't
to pick it. There's a lot of options.
You get to pick it, but it's you're not getting to find
like
something more economical.
Yeah,
you get stuck to, you're paying what you said, $700 for 2 weeks.
Well, we kind of got a nicer one. We're like, we're gonna stay there, we're gonna splurge a little.
But we're on a budget though.
Yeah.
So we're like budget, more expensive, but because we met some people that were staying in Patong and they got a really cheap one. So.
But then who knows what it is, and you're there for 14 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Novotel's nice. You're right on the beach. Kamala, it's gorgeous. This area, it's quite nice as well.
Yeah.
So you I know 5-Star, they go down to PP. Did you talk to Sean about that at all? Because he does trips out there. I don't know if he does the overnight trips though.
We haven't spoke to him yet. We still need to figure out how we're gonna do that, because we don't know. We've heard that not a lot of companies are open to it. There's only a couple of them that even went through the process to be SHA plus. Because apparently it's just really difficult to go through it. But
I don't even know if the ferry's even running. Have you checked into that?
No, that's what we need to do.
That's what it's gonna be. The full.
We're not the
wing.
best planners.
Well, there's a big, like the public ferry. Pre-COVID, it would run every day, like 4 or 5 times a day, and that should only cost you maybe 400 to 600 baht
It's not bad.
each way.
Yeah.
It depends, but I'm going to assume it's not every day. It's probably like 2 times a week, and it's like at certain times of the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'd have to check that. And then they have the ferries from there over to Raleigh. But yeah, we were talking about that earlier. For the amount of time you have, if you could do that, that's probably your best bet. But those places like Inco PP, they're completely dead. So if you get there, there's minimal hotels you could check out. You can check out my friend Pim's PP Princess Pim. PP Princess. Maybe she can get you a deal there. It's a really nice hotel. It's right on the beach. It's actually the nicest hotel. These places, they used to have all the pool parties. Like,
Oh, really?
pretty much like Ibiza there. Or it was. But now it's all closed down. So also like the food is limited at PP. I believe now only one of the 7-Elevens is open, which is by the ferry. So you'd be doing a lot of walking back and forth. I mean, back in the day, I used to go there every other month, and like it's crazy there. It's just there's no motorbikes there, right? It's a walking island. So you just walk around. But it would just be like wall to wall with absolute drunk lunatics. No, it was a good time, but now I heard, all the restaurants are closed. But you can still go on the hikes and go to the PP point and enjoy the views of the water and sort of the ocean there. It's gorgeous there. I don't think they're going to Maya Bay. I highly doubt it. I don't know. You'd have to talk to Sean, but if you can get that option, maybe that could even be the better option. Just you deal with those guys and they can do the day tour and come back. The only thing you'll kind of miss is, being able to walk around the whole island.
Well, yeah, the one thing that's hard or like that I would say is not worth it for a traveler is if they've been here before. Because we even walked down Patong and like that whole street that used to be like the strip. Yeah. And it was dead. Like nothing was open. It wasn't allowed to be open. So, but we didn't know what it was like.
Oh, it's pretty much, it'd probably be like equivalent to maybe something in like New Orleans or something. Like just these like Bourbon Street. Like this. It's a walking street. It's, there's no cars on it at night. It's just packed with people, bars, or it's like an amusement park.
Yeah, so we didn't know that before we got here. And so if you want like a vacation that, say, a family vacation, or you want to hang out at the beach, or you want to see all the sights, it's perfect. Like right now it's probably more dead because I was looking at videos of the Big Buddha and it was packed. But now there were like 20 people on the whole
those tourist traps, those spots, high season, it's insane. And like even getting around the island, if you're in a car, it's bumper to bumper. Even on motorbikes, it's bumper to bumper. So you would go to Big Buddha, there'd be thousands of people there. So you're getting the right experience with it, but then you'll also miss out on being able to mingle with other tourists, which is actually, I think that's half the fun.
We've met a few people that were our age, but most people are not our age around here.
No, most people they're living here, or they're working, or they're retired. People that would be your age would be the backpackers that were coming through. But that's obviously non-existent, and who knows when that's even coming back. I don't see that coming back for at least a few years. And a lot of people are saying, like, even when it opens up, it won't really come back for 5, to get back to normal. Especially these places like PP, it's completely gutted, and it's sad. I mean, if you go do the drive down to Kata and Karan on your way to Naiharn, like, it's a ghost town. Like, there is nothing out there.
You'll never see it like this again, though. So that's the one thing.
No, it's good. It's good for, photo ops. If you're an Instagram model, right here, this guy. I mean, I'm on Surin Beach every night, just doing my, Talisa's taking photos of me, sunset poses, hashtagging, wish you were here, stuff like this. No, we don't do that. We just go to the beach and have a beer. And, But, no, I mean, it's good that you get to see the way it is now. So what's next for you guys? Like, once you get back home, you're going back to school. Is there any process when you're leaving Phuket and then getting back into the U.S.?
I don't know, actually.
I don't think we have to take a test.
We don't know.
No, seriously.
Just 3 weeks in quarantine.
Well, because I heard a lot of other countries, they need to get a test to get back, but I don't think we need that. The U.S. is a little more relaxed about everything. So
Yeah, we might.
let's hope not.
We might have to take like a test when we get there, maybe like when we get to LA or like Las Vegas or something. But I mean, for like paperwork or like something like that, I don't think it's.
Are you sure you don't have to quarantine like at self-isolation at home when you get back?
Yeah, that's what I heard. That,
I
like,
think you're recommended.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't know for sure it's mandatory, but I mean, I know that like I heard some dude that we met said the only thing you need to get back into America is a COVID test. That's it.
Well, I think what's weird too is that like you can't come here unless you're vaccinated.
Yeah.
So we're vaccinated. We both had COVID at the beginning.
You had COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, you caught it.
Yeah, we both had COVID. So
I'm sure we went. Which month did you guys have COVID?
I
I
got
had it
it.
in August.
Yeah, she got it pretty early. I got it in I think November of 2020.
Of 20. Okay.
Yeah, and my stuff wasn't that bad.
I had no symptoms.
No symptoms.
Yeah,
So
her might have been a false positive. Maybe we don't know.
did you find out from testing?
Yeah.
And
Everyone was all crazy.
Why were you testing yourself? Just.
My roommates were crazy.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
kind of just like
Yeah,
have a couple drinks, test each other.
Yeah, her friends were very scared about it.
Yeah.
I did it. I go like from Reno to Vegas and stuff to visit family. So and it's kind of scary too because obviously, I'm a college kid. I don't want to come back and like infect my parents or something.
Or your grandparents.
Yeah. Especially because I see my grandma a good amount too. So it's a little scary. But I got there. I took a test in Reno. And this is kind of like when COVID was getting bad too, like still kind of bad in fall. And I went back to Vegas, and literally like 3 days before my flight, I got like a sore throat, and it was only for like 2 days, and then
My dad was sick too, and we were just with
Yeah, I
him.
think I got it from her dad too, which is
Shout out.
unfortunate.
Should we do a sound clip on that? Just give you that. Here you go.
Yeah, pretty sure I got it from her dad, but I felt I didn't feel that bad, but I just got a sore throat for like 2 days, and then I lost my taste like right when I got there.
Yeah.
And then like the COVID test took like 6 days to come in like after I got there. So I like stayed a week there without knowing I had it. And then I got it and it was positive. And then I was like, dude, this sucks. So then I waited like 7 days there, and I was only there for like 9 days. So I was sitting like the whole week there quarantining.
Yeah.
And then I got my taste and smell back. Probably.
Were you? Did you feel sick? Did you feel tired? Was it kind of like, how would you describe it?
I remember you were in your bed. You were miserable.
But was it like was it like a flu, like, or like, kind of like having a chest cold or something at that level? Like,
Yeah. Well, I know a lot of people don't have this, but I had like huge tonsils, and I had like tonsillitis, where basically like my tonsils got inflamed. I get like a sore throat, and then it would go away. I would relate it to that. It's like a sore throat, and then I'm like under the weather, like not horrible, but like a good amount for 2 days. Like from a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably say probably like a 6, probably.
yeah. So it's not too bad.
It wasn't bad, yeah.
Well, this guy we met last night, that's our age, he hasn't been able to smell since he got COVID.
Yeah, he said 10 months. He hasn't been able to smell.
Here or in the U.S.?
Here.
Here today.
Oh, you met a guy here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Which guy is that? We gotta.
We
find
gotta
out.
plug him. Yeah.
Well, you already mentioned that someone from our school
Yeah.
was like, oh, hey, you from Nevada? And then we met him.
Mm.
But I saw this other guy sitting at a table, and he was like looking at the conversation like he wanted to get in it.
Yeah.
And we realized, so he just graduated, or he's been out of college for a little bit now. And I was like, hey, man, where are you from? And then he's from Kansas, so he's from America. And he came and sat at our table, and we talked to him, and we went and got dessert with him. And he's been staying there because he's teaching in Bangkok, but he doesn't want to stay in his hotel anymore in Bangkok. So he came here the last day.
In Kamala, or where'd you meet him?
We met him in
Patong.
Patong.
In Patong. Okay.
Yeah, so he was like, either I stay in my hotel room in Bangkok, or my apartment in Bangkok, or I come out here and I get to do whatever I want every day.
Yeah.
And so he's staying here for a while. And so we met him and he was like, thank God you guys talked to me, because he hasn't talked to like Americans.
Yeah, most of
in
them are
months.
like UK. Like a lot of them are from like England and stuff like that. And
Yeah, you don't get a lot of Americans here.
yeah, we've only met. There was him, the other dude we met that same night, the dude from our school,
Yeah.
and then the family we met on the airplane. That was like the only Americans that we've met so far. So yeah, that's
And
a lot.
none
so
of them
this
are
guy
here
was-
for tourism.
No. Yeah, most of the people here, like, they're in transit, going back to Bangkok to work, or they live here, or they're retired here, something like that.
Yeah.
Or they have a girlfriend.
Yeah, or they have a girlfriend.
And they can
That's
go
how it is. That's Thailand in a nutshell.
yeah.
But so this guy, the American guy you met in Patong, he had no sense of smell at all
Yeah, he says he hasn't been able to smell anything.
But he can taste though. So
since 10 months.
10 months was just crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he was saying everything he smells is bad.
It's like different
Strange.
smells too, cause like since I got it, I don't know if it's for you, but since I got it, like certain things don't taste the same, like Coke, like Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Like I taste it and it's like it's not even close to what it was before, and like other foods and stuff like that. So it's like I think it's different for everyone. Like he says that he can taste everything, but then he can't smell anything. But he can smell peanut butter. Like it's like weird stuff like that.
Strange.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, he was a
Very
cool
strange.
guy though. He's like teaching in Bangkok, but he's teaching online, and he's like living on a budget. So he gets Thai food 3 meals a day, and he gets a little dessert on the beach. And
But
he
he's
was
teaching
cool.
online for that school because that school's closed.
Yeah, he can't do in-person teaching there.
Yeah.
So he's strictly online, and he wants to do in-person, but he has to do it online.
Yeah, I met another guy, a similar guy. He's actually was from New York, and he's also here because he's a teacher, international teacher, trying to go to Bangkok, but the schools are closed. So he's like, well, I might as well stay here another month then. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Bangkok's just in complete lockdown,
Well,
and this place too. I heard the beaches might close next week.
here?
That's what I heard, but
That'd be pretty unfortunate.
yeah, but to be honest, you don't even think about it. This is Phuket. Like, everything changes every day.
Yeah.
They'll be like, yeah, well, I heard from this guy the beach is closing, but this other guy said they weren't. But his friend said they might. This is honestly the conversation everywhere in Phuket. So, and that's gone on for pretty much a year. You'll get that, oh, bars are closing, and then it's at 9. Oh, next week we open. So kind of the way you deal with it now is you're just like, yeah, whatever, just go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we showed up to the mall yesterday because the guy was telling us that it was open and that he went the other day, and then we went to the mall and it was closed for a week or something like
for
that.
like government, they were like, we listened to the government, and then they closed from the 27th to the 2nd of August, and yesterday was the 27th. So
Yeah,
pretty
it's
unfortunate.
you never know. It's the only way that something becomes true is it will get announced, and then you'll kind of hear it underground, and then officially it has to go through. I want to say the Bangkok Guardian. I'm probably wrong, but there's like a Thai newspaper in Bangkok. So all these news outlets can post whatever they want, but for it to be true, that newspaper will post it, and then that's what makes it true. So the conspiracies build up, and then eventually it can get leaked. So that's one thing I've heard. Possibly beaches will close, which then it's not Phuket Sandbox. I don't know, it's just Phuket Box. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing that we dealt with the COE too, is that Facebook was what saved me, because every day they were posting new stuff. And so like we ended up paying $50 a piece for a fit to fly certificate
Yeah,
that apparently
that
we
was
didn't need.
Yeah.
And so it was stuff
Well,
like
that's just because
that.
we didn't, that's just being like extra safe, and we probably could have looked more into it and probably found out that we didn't need it. So that's probably just us being dumb.
Yeah, it's the rules are always changing every day, so you kind of got to stay up to date.
Yeah.
You guys were watching you said you were watching the Thaiger news to get your information while you're in US?
No, I was just using the Facebook. When we first were like, let's go to Thailand, that's when I looked at it to see how it was opening and see what it was like.
Well, I mean, like we were talking about, so Tim's coming on Friday, but you said you were watching his YouTube channel, The Thaiger, for news. You're watching that when you're in Phuket, or you're watching it in the U.S.?
In the U.S., like months ago.
So, all right, Tim is international then. There we go.
So, yeah.
Got a bit of a celebrity. If you want his autograph, show
I
up.
kind of want it, yeah.
Show up a bit early. Yeah.
I know. I thought it was really great. Well, and I didn't know there were really that many foreign people living here.
Oh, I don't honestly, I don't know. At least not maybe in all of Thailand, 500,000 foreigners from all countries. I'm
Yeah, because
guessing.
he was Australian, or
I believe he's Australian.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, "There's an Australian in Thailand." Like he
Oh,
was
God.
kind of because we just don't know that there's foreigners here.
Yeah, you
And
guys
so-
you haven't been to this side of the world either.
Yeah.
Why just to quickly jump topics on that, you were saying you're contemplating Philippines and Bali, but obviously with these visa restrictions, it was a bit difficult. So you chose Thailand. Okay, easy to go. Why not just go to Mexico?
Well, because we wanted to go across the world.
Go across
I've
the
been to
world.
Mexico,
Okay.
and it's like,
You've seen it, been there, done that.
and it's not too hard. It's not too expensive, and so it's like we can do that a week over spring break, or we can do it.
Okay.
It's like pretty easy for us, and it's not a long flight either. And so we were like, we want to do something big, like we want to do something major.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to go across the world and see this side.
And so then what would be next summer when you have the summer off? Are you guys already thinking about vacations or planning? Because I think in today's age with this COVID, or the C word, we're getting shadow banned, but you need to kind of start planning in advance, even though information starts to change. Do you have any plans for next summer or even after graduation?
Oh, I don't know, dude.
Well, actually, so, I mean, I was planning on I have this whole college plan of what I want to do. And I was going to study abroad because they have a super amazing study abroad programs at our school. And so it's like you study in Europe or South
6
Africa
months or
whatever.
something.
Yeah, for a whole semester. And so my whole plan was I was going to do that sophomore year, and then COVID happened. So I think I'm going to do that either in the spring or the summer this next year. I don't know what you're going to do, but
Yeah. I gotta figure out what I gotta do.
Just follow. She'll figure it out.
Yeah. That's a part of like her
Degree. You
business.
can do.
Yeah.
You can go anywhere on that.
You know, depends if I want to travel again next summer, if I'm able to, if I gotta get a job and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm kind of more like a go with the flow, as you can tell.
But I mean, you guys went through the ringer. I mean, it was a big process, a lot of stuff to go over. That's actually half the reason I haven't gone back home, because I'm like, I don't even want to deal with any of that.
Yeah.
I'm like, hopefully they just blows over and they can just cancel it all and I can just hop on a plane.
Yeah, make it easy.
Because the paperwork and the process is just too intense. But after going through all of that, I think we did discuss that you would do it all again. Was it that intense, or was it you think it was really worth it at the end?
it's worth it once you get here, because you just put in the back of your head, you're like, oh, I went through all of that. Because, I mean, it's like no other. Like, the paperwork and the stress. I'd say the stress was the worst.
Yeah, it was definitely stressful, especially where we got there and she was like, yeah, we can't give you the ticket. So we were like, because that's basically someone saying like, you can't go. But she gave us the opportunity to go to LA because it's just like a, domestic flight. So we were like, no way. Because like someone basically telling you like, oh, all your money's gone. The trip's not going to happen. You guys planned for it forever.
I've been working for months on this computer.
We go there all excited, and then she's like, no. So it's like a lot of waiting, a lot of nail biting. So, I mean, like, is it worth the stress? I would say yes. Like once you're on the plane, because I was telling her, like, once you get on the plane, it's like a very big relief. You're set to go. But, like, I don't know if our story is going to be the same as other people's, like the nail biting, the close day-to-day acceptance.
Yeah, well, if it's always changing, and I mean, it's hard to foresee every step you need to take as well. I mean, there's only so much planning you can do, but unless you have that binder all ready to go.
Well, now it's going to be a little easier for everybody, because now they see what people went through, and so they can see, because it's a little piece of paper. So you put in all this work to get this approved, and then you get a little piece of paper. And so it's like, that's a big slap in the face.
Yeah.
Like,
and what about your friends and family, like throughout the process? Were they pushing you, encouraging you? Or they like, you guys are lunatics, what the hell are you doing? Or like, what were they saying?
I don't know. They kind of weren't like involved that much. We were just telling them like, yeah, we're going to go to Thailand. And they were like, like, good for you if you guys can.
If you can figure it out.
Yeah, if you guys can actually pull the trigger. And go. Because a lot of people say they're going to go and then actually don't go. And then once we actually got like everything set, I mean, at least my mom and dad were like, "Oh, you sure got everything? This and that." They weren't like really informed that much, so I don't know how much information they know, but for the most part, they were just like, "Have fun on your trip," kind of. So
Yeah, my dad especially, he was like, "You're so baller for doing this,"
Yeah.
like blah blah blah.
Just
So it
go
was
for
like,
it.
oh, this is kind of cool. And then he gave like once I was like, oh, we have to pay $600 for these tests and stuff. Like he covered some of that stuff, and I was like, thank God. And so, shout out, Dad. Love you.
You made this happen.
He really did, because
Yeah.
we would have been like downhill in the money situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's not cheap to come here as well. Well, what do you guys think at the end for your budget you're going to end up spending, or what did you budget on this whole trip? So in case anybody watching this, they can at least have an idea that if they want some similar experience, what you should budget, including COVID, flights, accommodation, food, everything.
I don't know. I would probably say we are trying to budget, but we're not
pulling
really,
out a good amount.
Yeah, we're not really budgeters.
Like, what was the original plan? Like, you're trying to stay under $2,000 each for the whole thing?
Yeah, like when I was like looking at all the prices and stuff, I was like, all right, especially when we're talking about Bali, because I did like a lot of Bali information.
Yeah.
Like looking up research and stuff, and I was like, okay, the ticket's like $1,000 or so, and this is when I was like thinking that was gonna be like Airbnb, especially like only for 2 people, like share a bed. It was like $300 for the whole month on Airbnb, because like they have like a deal for a month, like monthly stays. So then I was like, all right, so it was like, $1,000 for the ticket, $300 for the stay for the whole month, and then I know the food's like super cheap.
Yeah, like $10, $15 a day.
Yeah. And then I was like, yeah, it's gonna be like definitely under 2G for sure. And then, or like even like 1,500 or 1750. And then here it's like, I was expecting to spend like food wise definitely less for sure, because I was like, Thai food is super expensive, or not expensive, super cheap. Yeah, super cheap here. But like, at least for me, eating the Thai food, if you're gonna go breakfast, lunch, and dinner, can get a little
it's not because it's all the same taste. And then when you go Western here, then you're paying probably the same price you'd pay back home. Or very close.
It's cheaper, but
like it's like a little cheaper.
A little bit.
Yeah. So like if you're gonna go like, pad Thai or something like that, it's like $2. But then if you go burger,
we've been
fries,
on
Coke.
Breakfast, like American breakfast.
It's hard to find here. Have you guys found a good place?
Oh
yet,
yeah, we've been having. This is bad, but we've been having pretty expensive. Our breakfast probably costs more than our day of eating.
Yeah, it's been definitely more money than expected for the food. But I mean, like you're on a vacation, might as well.
You gotta talk about your.
My food experience.
So what happened?
So I knew there was like some, like not like worms and stuff like that. Like I knew their thing.
Little traveler's diarrhea.
Like parasites.
Yeah, parasites, stuff like that. And so I go to this shack, because the shack's everywhere.
Yeah, and that's how this starts.
Yeah. And I like the first day that we got here, we went to a shack, and we got like 2 coffees and a little, like a plastic carton of rice, like basil beef, and egg.
Like the minced beef or minced pork.
Beef.
Yeah. So I don't know, I forget the word for beef, but they call lap gai lap mu, which is it's the famous dish here. It's like a minced basil-y type of with a little bit of onion they'll throw in there. So,
and it was like, and I didn't eat breakfast, and that this is after we've slept for like 14 hours or something, like the first day. Yeah. So I was starving, and I tasted that meal, and I was like, this is like so good, like super good. So then like 4 days go by, we're in Patong, and I see the same like same dish, exactly the same. I get it. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna save it for later, because I think we just drinking a coffee around the moped and stuff. And I go put it in the moped, like the little compartment in there, and we go do laundry. Laundry takes like an hour and a half, 2 hours or so. Probably just messing around. And then leave it in the moped, and outside it's like probably like 103 outside or something like that. So like literally the food is just sitting in a little oven in there, just getting so hot, like probably just filling with bacteria in there. And then we go back to the hotel after the laundry, unloading the laundry and stuff. And I'm like, yo, I'm starving. Start eating it. And then halfway, I'm like, I was like,
Yeah, it for sure it was from the humidity or just cooked it. And
yeah. And I ate half of it. I lost all my appetite. And I was like, dude, I'm just being a little wussy.
Yeah.
Like, it's because I didn't eat for so long. My stomach got small. I'm going to eat it. And then, I'm like, I'm just gonna finish it, and I stuff it down because I didn't want it, but I was like, I need to eat it.
Yeah.
And then we go get a massage, like, because we never got a Thai massage before.
Yeah.
So
No joke.
Yeah, it's so brutal. It's like
The real Thai ones, they'll mess you up.
yeah, it was like elbow digging in the like lats, and
Yeah.
she
Getting
was
on
like,
top of you.
yeah, like
Pulling your arms.
like my neck for the last 3 days have been just tortured. Like I can't like fully like
So you've
turn left.
eaten and then you've gone for the massage.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I was
God.
like, yo, I'm gonna get treated like tonight. I got the good meal,
Yeah.
I'm getting the massage, and then, massage was like super rough, like super aggressive, but like I was still feeling good and stuff like that at that point. Then I come back, we go out to eat. I get like pad Thai after that too, right? So I'm like double Thai food, and then come back to the hotel, and it's just straight like projectile waterfall out the
Yeah.
poop chute.
Well, at least you got the bum gun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like that I didn't even know about that until
Yeah.
like 2 days after. I'm still like,
Oh,
yeah, I
that's
told
what-
him, I was like, why don't you just use
Yeah, you got to
the-
use that.
yeah, because I was like I'm not used to the freaking squirt thing, so so I'm just like straight sharding. Like,
Yeah.
it's so bad, and I've never had diarrhea like this in my entire life. Like it was like just
Yeah.
straight water. Not to get like
Yeah, it's everyone. If you lived in Thailand, you know what's going on.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah.
they invented the bum gun.
yeah.
Yeah.
For this moment.
For this
yeah.
moment, this is it.
Yeah, so then I'm just straight like waterfall for like 2 days.
2 days.
No. Like 2 days before I found out the squirt gun.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
So then,
We chilled out for many days.
yeah, we chilled for like 3 days. 3 days going on, and then I say the 4th day, it wasn't as bad as usual.
So you're legit sick for three days.
Yeah,
Oh, that's serious. Wow.
Yeah, the first 3 days, it was like head was pounding. I don't know, cause like my head still kind of hurts from like
It may have been
it
the
might
neck.
be the neck massage thing. Maybe I don't know
Yeah.
if that's like a thing if your neck hurts, but
Yeah, that's normal.
yeah. So my head was starting to get like chills, super hot sometimes, and stuff like that. So
It also could have been the food without the motorbike. The
Yeah.
problem with those like Thai places on the side of the road is you don't know how long that meat's been there.
yeah,
And beef doesn't sell as well. So you're better sticking to porks and chickens.
yeah.
I've had that experience 3 or 4 times, and it's always from the side cart. And again,
Yeah.
it's like you'd be at the beach, there's the side cart, you get the chicken, but maybe that chicken she cooked 2 days ago. And
Yeah.
usually it will just sit there in the sun all day. So it might not even have been your motorbike, because actually 3 days of that sounds like it was probably the food to begin with.
Yeah. So I don't know, because that's what I was saying. Because like I was like, there's no way so much bacteria like developed on the food in like
No.
hours.
I've had that once where like I left quesadillas in my motorbike like overnight, and then like I went out and I like woke up hungover, and I'm like just thought about those quesadillas. Like, damn, those are gonna be so good. And then I like, went down and like I ate them, and then like 1 hour later, game over. But I was fine. Like an hour later, it's just like your stomach's like, no.
Oh, okay.
Those quesadillas been cooking all night in that
Yeah.
motorbike
Yeah.
for about 8 hours. But yeah, if you're getting it for 3 days, that sounds like it was the food.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there was a couple moments like we were on Saran, and there's like an old lady down here that does like beef sticks, and like I was
Oh, we
super,
ate them.
Oh yeah, I was super scared because I was like, yo, those could have been there like at 7 in the morning. We're here like 4 p.m. Could have been there like all day.
Yeah, that's when you're better off going to the night markets.
Yeah.
The ones that are kind of on the beach, and that's where they are, like you don't know when they cook them. But the night markets, you watch them cook them because they didn't show up with the food. They've cooked it there.
Yeah.
So it's a bit safer. I refuse to buy from the beach cars anymore. The only thing I'll get from them now are like the Nutella chocolate
Crepes.
banana crepes.
Yeah.
You're okay there, but the chicken, anything that's been sitting there that they want to make you a pad thai, it's
Yeah.
I've made that mistake 4 times in like 5 years, and every year I was like, no, we'll be good. Let's go. And
Yeah.
immediately, fuck. it's game over.
Yeah, we just got those crepes 2 days ago.
They're really good, eh?
Yeah, it was. I got banana and caramel. She got coconut and milk.
Yeah, well,
Something
the
like
guy
that.
from Kansas, he told us about it. He's like, I go here every night.
Yeah, it was pretty
We're
good.
like, oh yeah.
so-
Yeah, it's a block of sugar, but it's
Yeah, it
delicious.
was good.
Yeah, the ones at Surrey Beach, they're good. They're good. Any of those places, they're all the same. Super oily,
Yeah.
loaded full of Nutella or chocolate sauce and bananas,
Yeah.
ready to go.
Yeah. We just came back from overpriced American breakfast, and
Yeah. Where was that at?
it was
That shopping center in Laguna.
it was next to the Laguna. I don't know. I think it's in Laguna. I'm not
Yeah,
for
In
sure.
the Boat Ave-
it was,
in Boat
it was
Avenue.
Little Paris.
Oh, Little Paris.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's expensive there.
Yeah.
And
It
for
was
anyone
pricey.
backpacking on a budget, that's not.
Definitely
Yeah.
not somewhere we should have gone.
I mean, it
but
is called Little Paris. It's fine dining
Yeah, exactly.
for breakfast, but it's good. The bread's decent.
And they have iPads as menus.
Yeah.
You probably should have
Yeah.
seen that as a
Yeah, that's an
red
indicator.
flag. Yeah.
They gotta pay. They gotta pay for those iPads.
Yeah. We just went there, and I'm like a dessert guy, and I haven't got
Yeah.
a lot of dessert, so it's like 12 p.m. late breakfast, and we got like I got like a cheese. What is it called?
I don't know. I don't
She
know.
got
we
like an
s-
egg bacon
We spent
thing.
as much
Grilled cheese. That's
as
what
the
it is.
ticket.
Yeah. I got
on
like a
breakfast.
ham and cheese, and I looked at the dessert, and the dessert like really good, and I was like, I gotta get a dessert. And then I got like a brownie molten cake with like vanilla.
Oh, the lava cake.
Yeah. It was.
But it was like an
stupid
American
good.
dessert. We
Yeah.
Oh,
probably should have
Yeah,
skipped that
it was
one.
good. It was good. Obviously not cheap, but it was good.
Well, that's the thing. When you're over here, so now you're going on 3 weeks. I mean, you come in with high hopes, but you're so much younger then. And I'm just gonna eat Thai food and no problem. But let's be honest, if you eat it twice a day, it's hard. It's very hard to eat it 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And also, usually the Thai breakfast can be quite strange. So up here, there's a Muslim village on Bang Tao. There's some interesting food in there, and it's all side carts. But there's shops, so it's decent. But it's like the breakfasts are like curries or fried chicken. Like
Yeah.
that's breakfast.
That's
Oh,
very
yeah.
odd because
It's
breakfast
very
is my
strange.
favorite meal.
Yeah,
So
no,
I
it's
wasn't
not.
coming here thinking that.
After like I've been in Asia 12 plus years, like I don't like Western breakfast. If you gave me a hot spicy soup with noodle, I will take that over a Western breakfast.
Really?
Yeah. Don't ask. It happened maybe 5 years ago. I don't know why.
Oh wow.
And then like now you lose like touch with breakfast. Like you're like, yeah, I guess I could go out now. I'm eating quesadillas for breakfast.
Yeah.
It's no problem.
Overnight ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys, you don't know what's next. Maybe Koh Phi Phi, maybe Krabi. I mean, those places. That's probably your best bet if you can get there easily, especially like Ao Nang, gorgeous, and then going over to Raleigh Beach. But yeah, other than that, it's a bit risky to go up to Khao Lak, and also then you're driving on the motorbike, and if torrential rain comes down, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know when you leave the island on the bridge, it can get super windy because now it's opening up. So like, unless you have like a pretty strong like 150cc motorbike, it's a bit sketchy as well.
Yeah. I would definitely say the wind's pretty brutal with
Yeah.
the moped because
Yeah.
like I'm going downhill with the helmet because both our helmets don't
They
fit
suck.
at all. So like I got
But we don't want to get another ticket.
No.
Yeah. So because like no one around here wears helmets.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah,
You're not
yeah.
getting a ticket.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
wear your helmet. You guys are new. So.
Yeah, especially because we look like tourists too, so I don't want to
Yeah.
raise any flags. But like we wear helmets, go down a hill like a decent speed, maybe like 50, 60 kilometers or something.
Yeah.
And like because it doesn't fit, like it falls back, and then I have a strap right here, and it just like chokes me down. Hers
Yeah.
falls off. It's all bad.
No, I mean, when you're renting the motorbike, the first thing is, put a helmet on. I rarely wear a helmet, but that's pretty stupid.
Yeah.
It's around here. We don't go that far anyways.
Yeah, it was a little weird because in Phuket town, everyone wore a helmet because
Yeah.
like the cops are just crawling over there, and over here it's all chill.
No,
and stuff.
here's fine. The police, everything's quite chill over here.
Yeah.
I think there's probably agreements between maybe the police and the hotels where it's just like leave them alone a bit, because then you're gonna leave with a bad taste in your mouth about Thailand.
Yeah.
You know, you could stay at these 5-star hotels and then you leave your resort and the police piss you off because of a helmet.
Yeah.
And I think there's probably something going on there, because as you get more south, Phuket town, Rawai, Nai Harn, they're much more apparent. They're everywhere. So yeah, it's a bit strange.
Well, I got kind of like when we first got our ticket, I was like, I swear if they tow us too, or like,
Do they
I
tow?
swear
No,
if we
no,
like,
no.
They don't tow.
They won't
Yeah.
tell you. They won't tell you. No, nothing. Actually, what you said with your story is I've never heard of that before. That's
No.
crazy. I mean,
great.
they shouldn't actually be able to do that. Maybe because it's Phuket town that it's a bit special. It's almost like it's the city.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not going to happen anywhere here. You can
yeah, but
park wherever you
it
want.
wasn't like busy. There were like no other cars in any of the
Yeah,
spots.
and who knows? Maybe that cop knows people are showing up to this museum. If they're tourists, they're definitely showing up. He just needs to sit in front of here, and hopefully a tourist parks in that spot.
Well, that was our
It's tough.
bad. It was there was a police station right
Yeah,
there.
that's strange. I've never heard of that.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
tough.
All right, I'm getting hungry. How long are we into this now? 1 minute, 1 hour 50. Holy
My
shit.
gosh.
Pretty good.
Okay, I think
I gotta
we
pee pretty
yeah, I
bad.
gotta. That's usually what it is. I don't know how these guys like Rogan can sit there for 3 hours.
I have
Like
to pee so bad.
I have to pee so bad. Yeah.
Yeah,
Too.
they
All right.
don't- they don't-
Awesome. So I'll wrap it up. Is there usually people that come on? They have something to plug. Do you guys have anything to plug? Maybe some big boys, get some burgers out of them, or is there anything? Do you want? Because you might not want people to find you on Instagram, and maybe you don't want people asking you questions either.
I mean, I don't mind.
Yeah, you can plug your Instagram. Chasing some clout here. Let's get it.
No, I
maybe
mean,
this
like,
maybe this goes viral and like you got like 1 million subscribers. I don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, you never know. Okay, so first, this isn't, what is that? What's that? I always say that. It's not. It's a stupid joke. What is it? Hot Ones? This camera, that camera. I don't know if you've seen that show.
no, I
Okay.
haven't seen it.
It's where they eat spicy chicken wings and do an interview
Oh,
with the
yeah,
celebrities.
Yeah.
So at the end, anyways, because we have 3 cameras, so I guess that's your camera. You can tell the audience where to find you. Probably Instagram's the best. Yeah, take it away.
Yeah, if you have any questions, you can just DM me. It's Kendel, KENDELL _. You don't have to, but if you want to DM me,
And we'll put that
you have
we'll
any
put that
questions?
Instagram right in front. And Cooper,
If you want to follow a better Instagram, mine
you know,
is
one that isn't used.
yeah, I barely use it, but still I can use some followers.
yeah,
It's _Cooper.
_Cooper.
Yeah.
Wow,
No,
that's
yeah.
going viral for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, guy. Am I back at this camera now? Awesome. Okay. So thank you, Kendell and Cooper. This was episode, what was that? 12, 11? The 13. Lucky 13. Episode 13 with Kendell and Cooper. This story again was about their experience coming from the US to Phuket Sandbox. We'll put together some clever clickbaity YouTube thumbnails and see what we can scratch up. Don't forget, like, subscribe, hit that bell, smash the subscribe, swipe up, swipe left and right, do all that fun stuff. Thanks for joining, and see you next time. That's it.
Yay.
Oh, that was fun.